over Europe, of course. So, everybody excited? Let me see on your screen. Open up your video camera and look, this is a supervisor workshop. Workshop. This is not just a nice, entertaining show. This is something very valuable, and I hope you get as much value out of this school. You will if you pay attention and take good notes. We're going to be together for about an hour and a half, and I can't wait to introduce to you my very good friend, a very special guest for us. But before we do that, I just want to make sure that you know you you stay focused, you turn off your telephones, you get your notepad, and you pay attention, because this is for you. This is a supervisor for you. You made the effort, whether you are a brand new supervisor or you've been with us for some time, okay? I started my career with this business almost 33 years ago. In September, it will be 33 years, and it feels like yesterday. I was only 29. I'd lost my job, what I thought was going to be my profession for life, training horses, one of my passions in life. And something happened that I wasn't expecting. How many of you have had something happen in your life that you weren't expecting? Let me see your hands. Okay, share the on the chat. Little did I know that drama, let's say drama, tragedy, when the same people that made so many promises to me, they got rid of me. They said, we don't need you anymore. Little did I know that it was going to turn into the biggest and best opportunity of my life. So I ended up going to a meeting in Barcelona, and you saw some of the pictures there. It was funny because the lady that invited me, she said it's a restaurant in Barcelona. It's called Restaurant Alaska. It's a restaurant that I don't recommend to anybody, okay? I know a lot of us are going to be going to Barcelona soon. Well, I don't recommend that restaurant, but that's where I heard the story. That's where I got the first impact about this opportunity. And I remember sitting in the meeting and I was thinking, what if it's true? What if all of this is true? And then a few people got up and shared their stories, and I thought, aha, this thing is simple. I think I can do it. Actually, I think it's going to work for me. So I signed up that evening, and my sponsor did the right thing. She made sure that I got on the products, and she did really good follow-up. So I got tremendous energy right away. Within 3 days, I was all excited about the possibility of somebody else wanting these products. And then I talked to my mom, and she said, no, thank you. Boom! My attitude went way down. I thought, oh, what have I done? What if it doesn't work? What if this doesn't happen for me? And the usual things. How many of you have ever been up or down? Exactly. You know, it's a constant.
I
We all go through it. The important thing is that they taught me how to deal with all this. And I really understood at my very first meeting that this was a very good opportunity, that I had a solution, that I was given like an exclusive opportunity to share these products with other people. But it was really at my first supervisor school, in my second month, I became a supervisor. And again, welcome and congratulations to all the brand new supervisors, because that's a very, very important step that you've taken. And when you look back in a few years, you'll remember this as a very important moment for you, a milestone in your business. And it was during that supervisor school, it was at the Hotel Presidente, President's team. It was called President Hotel. It's the perfect name. And it was during that supervisor workshop, there I was with my notepad, 29 years old, not sure about anything that was going to happen to me, but really, you know, ready to go. And I understood the value, write this down, the value of the opportunity. And I can tell you, then, 32 years ago, almost 33, it was the best opportunity. Well, let me tell you, today, in today's world, this is the best opportunity for the average person. So this is a great evening for all of us. And again, make sure you take good notes. We got a very, very special speaker, someone I got to know a while ago. and I can tell you, this person has always been a hard worker. He used to work on the Channel Tunnel that links the UK with the continent of Europe, and he was working as a technician, electrician. But then he got going with this Herbalife business, and he applied all that hard work, and he has built an amazing, enormous international business, mostly from home. And I want all of you to help me welcome on this virtual stage. Let's give him all our love, all our congratulations and appreciation. Make some noise on the chat. I want everyone to help me welcome a very special guest speaker for the Supervisor workshop here in July. Chairman's Club member, 40K, the one and only Mr. David Bevan.
Hello, Alf.
David.
Hello, sir.
It's fantastic to see you. How are
Thank
you?
you. You look, you know, I was sitting here, Alf. Hi, everybody all over the planet Earth. I don't know if we're on Mars yet, but if you know what's happening with the company, we won't be long before we'll be on Mars. But for now, all around the world, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I was just sitting here like this, listening to Alf, right? Oh, Alf, you got me emotional already, I tell you. I don't know what's, don't, you know, all the girls can, you know, relate to certain times in the month where, you know, you have to, you know, pack my suitcase, you know, the PMS thing going on. And it must be my thing at this time of the month, Alf. I'm already gone, oh my goodness me, I'm so emotional. This was like, you took me right back, Alf, 20 years, listening to your story, looking at, just listening to you and your messages and the way you communicate. And you know, I've said it to you a million times, and I want to say one more time, you are probably one of, if not the very best communicator, individual, absolute Herbalife soulmate. And I just want to thank you.
Well, it's awfully kind of you, David. But, you know, you get me every single time. And I just remember all the fun times we've had together, all the serious conversations as well. So it's such an honor to have you with us tonight. So, guys, pay attention.
Okay. So let me just start by thanking you obviously for the welcome, thanking Kevin for the support behind the scenes, and just you know, being ready to be on here tonight. And I just want to really a quick shout out to Angela Jackson. She's my fellow soulmate in the UK, 4 Diamond 15K business all around the world. And it was Angela who twisted my arm up behind my back, you know how it is, and said, you must do this thing. And how can you say no to Angela? No, she didn't. We were at the last big event, the big picture event. She was about to go on stage as a latest Hall of Famer and super celebrity in the Herbalife world. And she said, please, would you come on? I said, I'll do the next call. If I can do the next call, I'll be on the next call. And all because of Angela, we are here tonight. And hopefully it's going to be a very special night. When you mentioned the new supervisors, I'll tell you a little bit about my story in a second, but it actually took me back. You know, sometimes when you lived all over the world, and when you go back to a place where you had a particularly good time, good experiences, good friends, you remember, if you drive around those roads, you get those memories of those good experiences, those good times. Remember the fun we had there, the fun we had here. And then sometimes when you're in more of a difficult place in your life, sometimes the more beneficial times of your life, when you're outside your comfort zone and things are not easy and life is difficult and tough and it's emotional. And just listening to your story, if you put me back there tonight in a second, and I was just listening, I thought, oh my goodness me, he's getting me emotional. I haven't even sat down properly and I haven't even got warmed up. So I just want to say congratulations to all the supervisors. If you guys have kids in the house right now, or if you've got a bit of noise going on, as Alf said, make sure you give yourself some space here. I'm going to try and bring this in a little bit early, maybe at 1 hour 15, so let you guys have some time with the family tonight. But really, this is for the kiddies. This is for the children. This is for the future. So use them as a reason tonight, you know, and give yourself the gift of listening to just another story. You know, if you've got dogs in the house, now would be a great time to give the dogs like 18 cans of meat and food and turn the heating up, you know, and that'll fix any dogs barking. They'll be asleep before we, you know, get to the first slide, you know. So we can have a bit of fun with you guys, huh? So I think before we get into the presentation, I just want to show you guys some stuff. I've been in Herbalife now with Jane, my partner, 28 years last month. Okay, it's unbelievable. I used to be an electrician. I'll tell you more about that in my story. But really, I want to start with Jim Rohn told a story about Lydia, and she started with you know, a button like this and a brochure, really for about $1, and she become incredibly wealthy. I mean, we're governed today in what we can say, but really, it's the type of testimonial you could only dream of and you can't really share, right? Because not the lawyers, if you like, of our world try to often make sure we keep within the guidelines of really our lifestyle and what is going on for us. And it reminded me of really the basics tonight. And I went up to my loft in where I live here, and I got this book, okay, right? And this book, I want to show you, okay? This, by the way, that flyer, this one here, that is the very flyer that I gave to Jane Clark in the street, handed her flyers out, and that's the one that she walked in the door with of my house when I was renting at the time for like £37, 50 euros, if you like, a month, right? And this is the book that Mark Hughes taught me to keep. So you guys, here's the first secret of tonight. Give yourself the gift to listen, okay? Here's the next one. Find some sort of way of keeping all of your numbers. Yes, in your phone, okay? For me at the time, when I started, there was no internet. You can believe that. There was electricity, you'd be pleased to know that. There was no mobile phones. And this says here, 22nd of April, 1995. Okay? And I started with this little book, and I went on a training day, and they said to me, there's two types of people in the world. There's the ones you know, and there's the ones you don't know yet. And it was really interesting. I was sitting there thinking, yeah, that's actually right. And in 28 years, I've never met a group of people that are not in those two categories. There is either the ones you know, or there's the ones you don't know yet. Okay, so then, Kev, if you can pin my book here so the guys can see it nice and close. So then they asked me to make a list. Okay, so I sat down and I thought, I know loads of people. I've got lots of friends, and I got to 10 names, and I was starting to struggle. So then I got to 11 and 15. But anyway, I managed to fill the page. I was quite proud of myself. Took me a couple of days actually, right? But I want to show you, look, there. That person became a president team member. And here, that person became a president team member. So from the advice they gave me of the two types of people, the ones you know, the ones you don't, once I made that list, now it's an easy list to make, but it's an easy list not to make, right? Two president team. These guys, millions and millions and millions of business now, right? So then I continued on with my journey in Herbalife, continued making my list, and they explained to me, draw your organization, your entire organization. So I drew my organization. Okay. And you can see here, 1, 2, 3 supervisors, 4, 5 supervisors. Okay. That was my entire organization. And the reason it's in there is because I used to show people this. When I used to go to a meeting with them at their house, or they used to come to me, I would show them my organization because I was very proud of it, my 5 supervisors and my 3 new members. And then I started to work with the people I didn't know. And you can see here, I wrote their names in my book. Let me pull this down a little bit for you. There you go. Right? I wrote their names in my book and I scribbled them out. If they didn't want to know about Herbalife, I scribbled them out. If they didn't want to know about the business or the products, I scribbled them out. And then one day, you can see here, look, Jane Clark. That was the day that that flyer was given to Jane. And Jane and her organization became our 3rd Press Team organization. But I didn't know Jane was going to become Press Team. So I just kept flyering and flyering and flyering and flyering, more and more and more and more. And then sure enough, one day, a young man called Simon Donnelly, millions and millions and millions of business now. He took a flyer from me in the street. That was president team number 4. And then I kept flyering and flyering. And then up came this one here. Some of you will know Matthew Barraclough. This is Matthew Barraclough's father at the top. Took a flyer from me in the street. Matthew took 15 years to get started in the business. And many of you will know Daniel Armstrong, Danny Spiller, all of these people, all in this organization now. So just in this book, within 20 pages of the people that I knew and the people that I didn't know, built a chairman's club organization and 40K on 3 levels. Okay. But I didn't know they were going to become, so I just kept going. And that's the key, guys. You just got to keep going. So you need a badge and you need a book. And you just keep going and going and going and going and going and going. And then what happened is, as you can see, I went through some difficult times. And whenever Mark would launch a new product, I would go, oh my goodness me, John, I can still read his name. I'm going to call John because this is perfect for John. So I tried to call John. John, you're never going to believe it. When I called you 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, you know, it wasn't ready, but now we got this new product coming. This is the time for you, John. John still wasn't interested. And that's when I realized it was easier to give birth than it was to raise the dead, right? Some people, you know what, you're never going to get it. And now we can see, look, see, then that's when I started getting focused, serious, angry, some would say, right? And I scribbled them out so much that even if I wanted to call them, I could never call them ever again. Look, pages and pages. I show you. And these became a drive, by the way. I'll show you. Right? Not, by the way, I was only world team member now, right? Get team member, this type of level, right? I didn't know what was about to happen. So that was the book. So you guys, you need to, which way you do it, you need to find a way, okay, that you don't lose these numbers because they're very important. This was the flyer, as I said, I gave out. I got lots of them. Okay, unbelievable. And they went out to the people that I didn't know. To give you an idea, I did about 1,000, 1,500 flyers a day. I saw somebody post a post the other day, and they had done 32 flyers and nothing had happened. And they were surprised. And I said, well, maybe you should have done 35. You know, Jim Rohn said there's no right way to answer a stupid question, right? So they said, how many should I do? And I said, well, as many as it takes for the phone to ring off the hook. And they went, right. So how many is that? Well, it's as many as it takes for the phone to ring off the hook. Is your phone ringing off the hook? No. So keep flying. You'll know when you've done enough because your phone will be ringing off the hook. Do you understand? So I did flyers and I showed this the other day, and I'll get into my presentation. You guys all on Facebook, right? You do posts, right? We didn't have Facebook, didn't have computer, right? This was my post. See this? This is a piece of wood, right? Look at this, guys. You're thinking, hang on, I've got the supervisor. This guy is obviously taking too many herbs, right? We used to make this free diet demonstration, right? We used to knock them in the ground with a hammer by the side of the street. And people would drive past, they write the number down. This was it. This was, guys, this was this was the brand new division. This was time to get excited. Simon Donnelly called me of this, and he said, I'm not interested. Call me in the future. I said, okay, I will. So I called him the next morning. I said, Simon, are you ready yet? And he said, why are you calling me? I said, you said to call you in the future. I'm calling you. Don't you realize what's going on? This is out of control, you know? So he said, no, I didn't mean the next day. I said, okay, sorry, Simon. So I left it 2 days more, and I called him and I said, Simon, come on, everyone's getting in. What's wrong with you? You know, I mean, it was intense, right? So, it was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing. So this is my office. I'm at home now. And while I'm showing you things, I'll give you this before as the last thing I go. This is Alan Pease. This is probably the most personal development I got from anyone outside this man, Jim Rohn. This is the limited edition Jim Rohn, okay, which I've just picked up, still in the plastic, right? But anything from Mark Hughes or Jim Rohn, go online. That's all you need, okay? Otherwise, you can be over educated and underfed because you'll be broke, right? So you need anything by Mark Hughes, and then this one by Alan Pease. This is called Questions Are the Answers. It's so easy to listen to, okay? It's about £10, 15 euros, whatever that is, okay? And the audio is better than the book for me because I'm a bit dyslexic, so I don't read so much. Alf is dyslexic too, right? I don't read so much, so I like to listen in the car. And Elizabeth is dyslexic, right? So you see, you know, we overcome our failings, right? We struggle to survive. And so I can put this as an audio in the car, and I can listen to it in the car while I'm driving, because I drive all over the UK and everywhere else. And obviously when you're reading a book and driving, it doesn't really work so good. But when you're listening to a tape, you can listen, and it's important because you actually get the way Alan explains how to talk to people. It's just amazing, right? So I just want to give you those things before I get going here. I'm in the house, as you can see, it's my office. Jane was going to be sitting over by there, but Jane is not. She's occupying the up on the wall. You can see Get Team, Millionaire Team, President Team, and then in there you can see all the good stuff, the bonuses and all the bits and bobs. And on here, I don't know how many meetings I've done on this table, and this office was really well used, and you know, in us building our business and getting this thing going. So I just wanted to show you that. So let me drop into this presentation. Otherwise, Alf will tell me off because I didn't give you guys some good stuff, right? So if I can share my screen, let's see here. And my presentation is here. Okay. All right. Good. Kanya, let's have a look. In the beginning, very good. Okay, so you can see this out, right? Cool, right. So this is really to share with you. I'm originally from South Wales. If you don't know where Wales is, it's where Ryan Giggs comes from, and Gareth Bale, and who else is famous from Wales? Jeff Williams, he's one of my best friends, my first presidency member. Tom Jones, Jeff ranks higher than Tom Jones, of course. And it's a small little place, 4 million people, very industrial, a lot of steelworks, a lot of coal mines, especially in the past. Not so much these days, of course, because things are changing. And I left school, and they said to me in school, "What are you going to be when you grow up?" And that was quite a difficult question, because I was 16, and I thought, I've already grown up, right? I mean, I'm 16. What else is there to learn, right? And I asked my father. I said, "What am I going to be when I grow up?" And he said, "Well, you're going to be an electrician." And I said, "Am I?" I said, "Why is that?" He said, "Because I'm an electrician, and you're going to follow in the roles of your father." And my father was an electrician, your grandfather, and I followed in his footsteps. And both my brothers, by the way, were electricians, are electricians. So I guess I was going to be an electrician, right? And I'm glad I was, because I learned a lot about life, about finances, and about people very quickly. Being an electrician is, you actually learn that electricity is actually like people, because electricity takes the path of least resistance, and when you're about to get a shock, it's because it's taking the path of least resistance. Many people are like electricity. They actually want to take the path of least resistance, and sometimes that's actually not the best path, right? So I did my apprenticeship. I was in the coal mines. I was miles and miles underground. Many people obviously got injured. Many lost their lives. I was 17, 18 years old. You would go into work dirty, and you would come out dirtier. And it was interesting, right? And then what happened is I got a job on this job, as Alf mentioned. This is the Channel Tunnel. This is actually a very, very dangerous job. You weren't allowed to take anything like naked lights for fear of explosion, of course, right? So you couldn't take any cameras down there. And these are some of the pictures I took, just because I thought, well, you're never going to get this opportunity to see this again. And this tunnel was 26 miles long, started in England, and then the French started in France, and somewhere under the English Channel, they bumped into each other. They were actually about 20 millimeters out when they touched, but I mean, that's not a bad achievement, I would say. And as I say, it was a very dangerous job. And after working on there for 4.5 years, one of my best friends, a guy called Jonathan, Cookie was his name. We were in school together. I was 25, he was 27. And we both were good rugby players, and we became good friends. I didn't like him at first. He was very much like me in so many ways, and that's probably why I didn't like him. And we moved into a house with a couple of other guys we were renting, and we all went to the Channel Tunnel together. And what happened is, you can see by the bag on the guy's back there, in these bags you had your own water, because in some places it was hot, some places it was dusty, some places freezing cold, and also foggy as well. And one of these camelbacks were not cleaned properly, and John actually picked up a bug, and he said he didn't feel very well. And then as a result, he came home one day, and next morning didn't get up. And when I came home from work, I found him in his shorts, walking around outside the house. I said, "What's up?" He said, "I don't really feel well." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Okay, see how you are tomorrow, and if there's a problem, I'll take you to the hospital." Anyway, long story short, John lost 10 kilos, 20 pounds in weight in about 2 weeks. And I phoned his mother up. I said, come and get him from Wales, 5-hour drive. I said, he's not very well. And then as a result, I phoned home every night after I was coming home from work. And 7 days after, so anyway, after John's death, I then went to America, flew to America. I thought, you know what, there must be opportunity for electricians actually in America. So we landed, myself and Alan, and this is the first hotel we saw from the aeroplane coming down.
No, don't worry, it's cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, but what they can see is at this screen, not that screen.
I know.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. It's okay. You can see the next slide. I don't mind. I mean, God. Hey, listen, I've got on my notes here. If Jane and I can do this, then you guys can do it too, right? So, so I put this slide in for a training in Bali we did, and I've left it in for so long because I really did. This slide made such a difference to me, and people change for two main reasons, right? Either because their minds have been open or because their hearts have been broken. And you know, for everyone who's on the call, most of you are probably in one or either of these categories. You know, for me at that point, you know, my heart had been broken. You know, my friend had passed away, 27 years old. He had a 10-month-old baby son, Joseph, and I was open to change, and I just didn't want to. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Just knew at the time I didn't want to be doing what I was doing for any longer, right? So I went to America, ended up in this bar, right? And this was about 200 meters down the street from the hotel. And I walked in there, and sure enough, in comes this guy. And he had his badge on, and his badge said, lose weight now, ask me how. And I was there, I was 34 pounds, 17 kilos overweight. And I looked at his badge, I thought, like you guys now are all Herbalife serious supervisors. So when you see the badge and when you wear the badge, you go, well, this is cool, right? I didn't think it was cool at the time. I thought, my goodness me, what a stupid badge. Who would wear a stupid badge like that? Okay. So he had a meal at the bar and I could see he was about to leave. And I thought, you know what? I have to ask him about his badge. So I looked at my belly, looked at his badge and thought, you know what? I'm going to ask him. So I summoned up every ounce of positivity I had in my body at the time. Bear in mind, my friend had just died. I'd flown to a new country, had no work, no friends, didn't know anybody, no job. And I said to him, hey, what's with the stupid badge? And he said, well, you asked about it. And that's when I realized actually that the badge was a lot smarter than I was, and nothing's changed by it. Clearly, nothing has changed, right? So, and he said, I help people lose weight, gain weight, and maintain their weight with Herbalife products. And I said, wow, that's interesting. And he said, yes, there's a lot of herbs in the product. And I said, all right, really? And I thought, wow, that's amazing. How do the products know what you want to do? That's what I was thinking. I didn't realize it was like how many times a day you took the products, you know, once to maintain, you know, twice to lose, 3 times to gain. Didn't understand that because he didn't explain that to me. He just said lose, gain, weight, and maintain. I thought, my God, imagine one day if you're thinking about being skinny and you go skinny. Oh, wow, what great products. But then what about one day if you're thinking, oh my goodness me, I'm like a fat day, you were thinking about overweight, and then all of a sudden, boom, you can get fat. I thought, wow, I have to be careful. This might be a good thing, it might not be might be a bad thing, right? So, but Chris said to me, he said, look, you know, you and I both got something in common. And I said, what was that? What is that? And he said, we both know that you are overweight. And I said, yes, you're right. He said, in short, he said, you're fat. And I said, yes, you're right. So he said, let's get you started on the products and we can get you in shape and we get your energy back and get you feeling great. How does that sound? I said, sounds great. Okay, how much? And he said, well, I'll book a presentation with you. Where do you live? I said, I live in the hotel. Oh, he said, great, I know the hotel. I'll come over there tomorrow, 10 o'clock. So he came over in the morning, 10 o'clock. The reception called my room, and I walked down, and sure enough, there was Chris sitting there. And he showed me the business pack. The business pack was in a box back then. It was $67. And today, obviously, we have a bag, much more. I think it took like about 20 years to work out the box was no good and the bag was better. You could use the bag again. But he said, you can get started as a customer and use the products and pay full price. Very good line. Make sure you get it down in your notes. You can pay full price. Or he said, if you want, you can become a member. You can work the business, earn some additional income, and the products are for free. Which one suits you best? And all I heard was the word free. So when he said free to me, I went, that one, I think that other one you said, the free one, that's the one I want. Thank you. And he said, okay, that'll be $67. I said, how was it $67? You said it was for free. He said, the products are free in the pack. The pack costs $67. I went, oh, hang on, something's wrong here. I don't really know if this guy is for real, right? See, this guy, only met him yesterday. Now he comes up, he's wearing a badge. Now he's telling me, you know, lies. He's saying it for free, and now we're going to pay $67. So I said, well, I don't have the money. And he said, well, can you get the money? I said, okay. He said, do you have any money in your room? I said, yeah, I have money in my room. Okay. He said, can you go and get it? I said, okay, I'll go and get it. And he did a drawing, like some circles and squares, and you know how this thing works, and bills. Took about 10 minutes. It's a very small drawing. And I said, okay, I'll go and get the money. So I walked back to my room, and I sat on the bed. No word of a lie. I often don't tell this story, but this is how close I came that day to not joining Herbalife, right? I sat on the bed in the room with my wallet in my hand, thinking, I wonder, has he gone yet? Okay. Shall I go back down, or shall I give it another 5 minutes? And I thought I'll sit there a little bit longer, just in case. And I believe to this day, I've talked about this to many people, right, over time. But I think it was because, you know, it's like my mother was like sitting on my shoulder. You know, you was brought up to be a better person than this. He's waiting for you. At least go down and tell him you're not interested, or join. But go down and go now. And I was like, okay, I'll go. Right. So I walked down, but I walked along the corridor, like I walked quite slowly, actually. And then I got to the corner, and I looked around the corner, and he was still there, right? And then he went, oh, you know, I've been waiting for you. And I said, okay, yeah, I couldn't find my wallet. And I give him the money reluctantly. And he said, okay, you have to take 2 shakes a day, take the tablets, and 1 healthy meal, just cut back. I said, okay, I can do that. Drink plenty of water. I said, I will. Okay, thank you, bye. So I went up. I thought, I've got to try this stuff, right? So I opened up the box. It was vanilla. Opened up the shake, pulled the lid off, because it was paper seal, and it wasn't like really good like it was today. And obviously I lived in a hotel room, so I didn't have a magic bullet, didn't have a blender, didn't have a fridge, didn't have ice, didn't have frozen fruit and yogurt and juice, all in I had a tap, hot water and cold water. And if you're in LA, the water is hot. Even the cold is hot, right? So I turned the cold water, and it was like not quite hot, but not cold. So I filled up this plastic cup that I'd stolen from like a pub, and on St. Patrick's Day. And I put some water in. I put 2 scoops of the shake in, and put my hand on it and shook it and licked my hand. I thought, I don't want to waste anything, right? Actually, that was the first shake in Herbalife back then that had croutons in it, right? It takes, you know, chewing your shake down. But I kind of didn't have anything to mix it. And I shook it. It was warm vanilla. I drank it. I thought, Yeah, it's all right. I'll take it. He told me to take it, I'll take it. Took my tablets. I thought, that's great. No problem. So that's what I did. And that's what I did twice a day for about 4 or 5 days. And I thought, wow, I feel good. I was sleeping better. I was going to the toilet better. My energy was good. I was losing weight. So then I was put my badge on. I had no problem wearing the badge. He told me, wear the badge. Everybody's going to want to know. So I put the badge on. Everybody was looking at the badge, but not many people were asking. And then I started losing weight and getting confidence. And they would say then to me, God, Dave, you're losing weight. And I say, yeah, I'm on this product called Herbalife. And I take 2 shakes a day, drink plenty of water, take my tablets and just cut back. Feel amazing. And I've already lost 9 pounds, you know, and they go, wow, 9 pounds. Can you get me some? And I said, no, because I was a customer. I didn't even know it was a business. He said it was a business, but he didn't tell me how to do it. So I was just eating the product, feeling great, losing weight. So I still put my badge on, no problem with that. And everyone's looking at my badge. I said, I know my badge. I don't know anything about it. And they said, well, what's it? I said, it's Herbalife. Oh, we know Herbalife. It's on the freeway. I said, that's it, yeah. And he said, how are you doing? I said, I've already lost 12 pounds. Wow, can you get me some? I said, no, everyone's asking me. I can't get you none. I said, I got my own and that's it. Well, if you speak to the guy, can you get some? I said, I haven't spoken to him. He hasn't called me, right? Because my sponsor never followed me up, okay? So as I was running out, I'd lost about 18 pounds, 9 kilos, okay? Which was a little bit too much to lose according to the regulations, right? But I didn't know about regulations and I didn't know about too much to lose. I just knew I was drinking a warm shake twice a day, tablets, drinking water, just coming back and was feeling great. So Chris called, he said, how are you doing for product? I said, I'm doing great. I said, I need some more though. He said, great. He said, who's noticed you lost weight? I said, everyone, they're all talking about it. And he said, okay, how many sales have you made? I said, what do you mean sales? I said, how can I make sales? I got no stuff to sell. And he said, I can give, you can buy some of me and you can sell it to them. I said, I'm not making any sales. I'm not a salesman. I'm an electrician looking for a new business and I want to lose weight on this product. That's it. And he said, well, can you do, and he's very smart, okay, very smart. He said, well, can you take the orders in the bar and then give me the orders? I'll give you the product and you hand the product out for me. I said, yeah, of course I can do that. I'll help you get started, no problem, okay? Chris, by the way, was a supervisor, okay? And so when people ask me, he said, David lost weight? Yeah, I'm up to 20 pounds now, feeling great, product tastes amazing, got tons of energy, lost 4 inches off my waist, I feel fantastic, okay? Unbelievable. They said, can you get me some? I said, funny enough, I can. Vanilla, I didn't even know there was another flavor, right? In fact, there was chocolate and there was strawberry. That was it. I didn't even know that, right? In fact, my sponsor, all he'd ever tasted was vanilla, right? So he didn't even offer me chocolate or strawberry because all we knew was vanilla. We were the team vanilla, right? And if it was hashtags then, it would be hashtag vanilla only, right? So I just took the orders, I gave them to him, and I got, in the first 10 days or so, I got 12 orders, right? And there was a level called, what's that called? I've lost it. Anyway, but I hit that level, okay? And, I nearly had it then. No. Anyway, they don't do it now. But you get a special leather folder and you get like 42%. And the level in the market plan is called Success Builder, okay? 1,000 points. And high 5 it was called, high 5. So I hit the high 5, right? So anyway, give these 12 products out, give them to all of the people and give Chris the money. So I give Chris about $1,000. Chris gave me $420 back. I said, what's that for? He said, that's your commission. I said, what do you mean commission? I don't understand commission. I don't understand what you're talking about. He said, well, because you handed them out, you make 42%. I make 58%. I said, oh, that's good. I said, can I do that again? He said, yeah. I said, can I do it with more people? He said, yeah. I said, this is good. Good business. Why didn't you tell me about this? Right? So this is what happened. And then everyone was losing weight. And I mean, I was an electrician. I wanted to, you know, I'm like, you know, what you see is what you get type of person. And I would say to the guys, look, Jack, you know, you're a bit overweight and so is your wife. And if you both get started, I'll give you maybe a free product or a discount. How does that sound? Sounds great, right? And he go, yeah, great, I get started. I said, vanilla, great. Any other flavor? I said, no, right? But when I spoke to Chris, he said, yes, I think there's another flavor. So he checked with his upline and he said, there's chocolate and there's chocolate and there's strawberry. Oh, wow, what a company. Amazing. I could start all over again with chocolate. I could start all over again with strawberry. Can you imagine the customers? And this is what started to happen. And I started to get more and more and more customers. And I became a supervisor in 17 days. Okay. So if you think that you have to be something special, then you need to realize that you already are. Okay. Because this vehicle, with you believing, listening, learning, and doing, will take you to a place in the world that you never dreamed possible. Okay. The miracle is within us all, right? So I showed you my office earlier here. Jane's got her office upstairs. And this was my office at the time. Okay, I was doing my follow-up calls on payphone. Follow-up means, by the way, how are you doing on the products? How did your shake taste today? How are you feeling? Okay, and or they would say sometimes, oh, I got a bit of a headache. And I say, aha. Okay, because I was taught this in the training. Aha, please write that down. If somebody said something about the product, aha, right? And they go, what do you mean, aha? Aha, the product's working. And they go, oh, okay. I've got a bit of diarrhea. I've been in the toilet all day. Aha, brilliant. The product's working. More water, no problem. So write this down because this is all you got to learn. Okay. I think Alf and Angela engineered me to come on here tonight to let you guys know, I think that you're overcomplicating things. Okay. So this is the follow-up. Aha, no problem. Great. More water. Okay. Aha, no problem. Great. More water. So I've got diarrhea. Aha, great. No problem. More water. You'll be fine. It's just you're adjusting to the shakes. I'll call you tomorrow, the next day, and you'll be fine. Keep taking the product. Here's what you don't say when they say, I've got diarrhea. You don't go, oh my God, diarrhea. Oh, maybe you should stop using the product. You don't say that, okay? Because the body is adjusting, okay, to the new product, the goodness in the product, the herbs in the product, okay? It's a dietary change and the body is adjusting to it. They go, oh, I've gone to the toilet. Oh my goodness me. I could go to the toilet without the light on. You know, it's so bright in there. You know, people say, I mean, you know, we never met these people before. And they tell you all about their going to the toilet habits, right? But this is normal. You go, aha, great. And then here's another one for you. Feel, felt, found. Please write that down. Feel, felt, found. I know exactly how you feel. Okay? I know exactly what I feel. I felt the same. Here's what I found after I'd been using the product about 4 or 5 days, that you didn't have that problem anymore. Okay? So I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same. Just keep taking the products and you'll be fine. Okay? So feel, felt, and found. Okay? So most everything you want is outside your comfort zone. This means, by the way, what's up? You can leave it like that. That's that. That was me in a tunnel. That's your hotel. Great. Keep going.
Perfect.
Yep. Yeah, go on. Yep, good. Oh, look, it's all coming together now. Oh, look at that. One for the ladies. Okay. There you go. Okay, good. Next. There you go. This is the one I was on. See, on my screen here, it's perfect. So anyway, so I moved back to the UK and I started handing flyers out in the street. and the same flyers as I showed you. And we used to be on it. You're going too fast, Kevin. Go back. so we used to hand flyers out in the street, right? And then one day I was handing flyers out, and luckily enough, I handed a flyer to Jane. Jane's before pictures on the left, as you can see. And Jane actually went on to lose 19 pounds on the product in 5 weeks. Wasn't as illegal as myself, you know, but still a little bit, you know, bit too much weight too quickly for Jane. But really, she said, I want to make some additional income. I said, well, come over to my house and I'll give you a presentation and show you. So you can see, right, even back then, I'd never met Jane. So she was a people I didn't know. I handed out some leaflets. She phoned me and I booked her in for a presentation. Simple as that. Then Jane came, right? Came to the house, and I'll tell you this story. We had I had this sofa that I found by the side of the street. Bear in mind now, Jane was broke and I was broke now by this time. Together we were a total of 45,000 euros in debt together. And I had this sofa in the house, and this sofa that I picked up on the street had, you know, like when big people have been sitting on a sofa for too long and the springs don't work anymore. This type of sofa. And so Jane had this, like, I don't know to explain. She had this like short skirt on, right? And she said, you know, I'd like to lose 7 pounds. And I could see her legs sticking out the bottom of her dress. And I thought, 7 pounds, more like 14, I thought to myself, you know. But obviously, I didn't say that. Obviously, you can't say these things, right? You need to think them and then hold it inside and go, oh, really? I don't really think that's the case, and so on. Anyway, so I said to Jane, I said, okay, well, have a seat. I'll make you a sample of the shake and one of our incredible thermogenic beverages will help you increase your metabolism, your efficiency, and you lose weight and have more energy and you feel amazing. So I'll just put on the kettle and make up the shake. By now I had my own magic bullet because I'd moved on in the world. Business was developing, of course. And I said, have a little seat in this sofa, Jane. So Jane sat down, and this sofa is the type of sofa, once you sit down, you know, there's no support. So she sat down and you know, she had this short skirt on and her legs went up in the air. And that's when I realized that Jane and I would be together forever, you know, this type of relationship. So I said, oh, come. Anyway, in you come. So then I showed her the presentation, and Jane asked a few questions, and she said, I enjoy sales. I'll never forget. In fact, it's written in my book here. And I said, okay, great. You enjoy sales? Fantastic. And I said, how many people do you know? She said, I know everyone. I said, wow, this is good. I said, but we say everyone, you know, not everyone, right? She goes, I know lots of people. So Jane went away, and guess what Jane did? Jane made a list of everyone she knew. Okay, everyone she knew, and she said, I'm going to call all these people. I'm going to make all these sales. And sure enough, she made £400 in her first 2 weeks. Then she kept making sales, and then she made £1,400 in her first month. And in her third month in the business, she made nearly 100 sales, retail sales herself, and made nearly £5,000 income, and did 10,000 volume points and became a world team member in just 1 month. All for making a list and saying, who do you know that wants to lose weight? Please write that down. Who do you know that wants to lose weight? Who do you know that wants to lose weight? Who do you know that wants to lose weight? And by doing good follow-up and looking after the customers, Jane got referrals. more people to lose weight, to lose weight, to lose weight, to lose weight. And this just kept going. Next slide, please, Kev. So Jane then started a business. This is the basics, you know, this is actually where we run our meetings for so long. But just doing the basics, you know, you guys can make a fortune. Kev, next one. And these are the 4 pillars. You can run this to the end. So the first one is a product result, clients, support, sponsor and activate, structure, all built then on a foundation to give us the end result, which is we want to establish a royalty income. If you can click it on, Kev, that'd be great. Built on support, meters and promotion. And then on the top, you'll see to build a sustainable royalty growth. And this is our business. It hasn't changed, you know. Technologies change, of course, but concepts will always stay the same. And if you think what happened to Jane, what happened to myself, we got a product result. Then what did we do? We went and found some clients. Then what did we do? We started recruiting. Then what did we do? We structured our business so that we could follow up, so that we could build wide and chase deep. And what did we do? We then took people to the promotions and to the meetings. And then what happened as a result? We built sustainable royalty growth. And nothing has changed. Our business is still the same today. That's just about how simple we keep our business still, even now. Okay, Kev. Okay, so this was the car we were driving. I know many of you probably had a car like this on the wall when you were growing up. This was your dream car, I'm sure. Not. But this car had about 200 kilometers, okay, 130, 140 miles on it when we bought it. Used to drip oil everywhere, right? Dream car, thanks for that, right? But it used to drip oil everywhere on the engine. And then once you turned on the fan, because there was no air conditioning, there was fan. There was number 1, which is slow fan, number 2, which is fast fan, and number 3, which is like blow your hair back here type of fan, right? And because it was leaking so much oil, and if it was a hot day, we'd have the fan on hot. So the oil was blowing dripping on the engine. The fan was blowing the fumes in the car. So we used to arrive at the Herbalife meetings, me and Jake, and we're always like smiling and happy because all of the fumes, people always say, oh, those guys are going to do really well because we're always smiling and happy. This is where we lived. This is, we moved in here together. Next cat, we moved in here together. This was our house. It's called Chili Farm Cottage. It was $650 a month, and we had enough money through Jane's savings to live here for 6 months. If we weren't earning $5,000 a month after 6 months, then we had to move out. Simple as that. Okay, so we were motivated to get up early and to go to bed late, and all we did all day long was flyers, get them on the products. Didn't get them started in the business, mostly on the products to start. And then who do you know, and who do they know, and who do they know, and who do they, you need to become like an owl, you know, who do you know, right? You've got to learn these basic skills because you learn the skill, guys, you don't have to go and find new people. You just get given people off the people who are already getting results. So the best person to get referrals from are the ones that referred you or were referred to you. You know, you say, Mary, how did I meet you again? Knowing full well that you were Mary was referred. You go use a referral from John, wouldn't you? Yes. So you understand how we do the business. Yes. So who do you know, Mary, that wants to lose weight? Who do you know? Right? There you go. And by the way, if you give me 3 referrals, maybe I'll give you a discount on the product. Or if you want, I can register you as a discount customer, preferred member, whatever you want to call it today. And you can have 25% discount. You can even have your products for free. How does that sound? Sounds great. See, you've got to learn this language. We don't know a lot, Jane and I. You know, Mark Hughes taught us, you've got to know what to say, you've got to know what to do, and then you've got to decide how many times you're going to say it. Know what to do, know what to say, and decide how many times you're going to say it. That means how many people you're going to talk to. Simple as that. Okay, Kev, let's go. Next slide. Thank you. This is my sister. I know. My sister came all the way from Wales. I said, we're having a barbecue. Now, bear in mind, we were broke, right? And my sister said, where's the barbecue? I said, you're standing on it. Right? Because we had nothing. She goes, I've driven all the way up from Wales to here. I said, yeah. Because you've got to realize, guys, we had nothing. We were shopping and we had less than £10, £9.82, I think it was, in our pocket to go around the supermarket with. Okay, Kev. And this was Jane's office. Everything we had given to us everything we had, by the way, was given to us. My father gave us that table. My mother gave us the chairs. My mother gave us all the big pots that she didn't use anymore because we were broke. We had all the, the knife and forks so that, when you have a bicycle and you have a flat tire and you fix it yourself with the fork and the spoon, and that's the type of stuff we got given, because we people didn't want it anymore. They gave it to us. So next slide. And then this was how I used to dress back then. Of course, I lived in California. When you're in California, you dress like the Californians do, right? So, but you notice, right? No computer on the desk, no computer, no mobile phone. Okay, badge on. And by the way, see that badge, guys? That badge is the same badge I'm wearing today. Are you earning what you're worth? Right? And writing in my book, look, unbelievable. Only I'm just realizing that. Okay, next, please. And this was our first meeting. And I remember standing in front of the meeting. Oh my God. And we said, we need a meeting, right? And Jane said, yeah. I said, well, who's going to do the training? And she said, well, I don't like standing up in front of people. I said, neither do I. And we said, oh, we'll do like, you flip a coin, right? Heads, tails, you're doing the training. And then she said, well, I'll do the training on the product because I understand more about the product. You do the training on the recruitment and the marketing plan. And I said, I don't really understand the marketing plan. And she goes, well, if you learn it, you can do the training on it. I said, okay. So guess what? You have to learn it. We have to be responsible. It's not our sponsor who's responsible. It's us who's responsible. So I remember standing in front of the room and it felt like I was in like Wembley Stadium, the big football stadium in the UK. And it felt like there was like 80, 90, 100,000 people in the room and they're all looking at you. And there was 13 people in the room, honestly. And my left leg was shaking. And I remember like the glasses on the table was shaking and the projector was shaking. And I thought I'd lean on my right leg. And then that, that started shaking and I was sweating. And like, everything from the waist down was like, I thought, oh my God, it's all going to go wrong in front of the room here. You know what I'm saying? I was terrified of this thing. And I was white and it was supposed to be health and nutrition. I looked like I'd seen a ghost, right? And all the guys in the front of the room, they were going, oh my God, if this guy can do it, I'm going to get rich, right? And all the women were going, oh, bless him. He looks so scared, right? But everybody joined. And we said, if you come back next month, they're not going to believe it, right? Next month they came back. We run our own meetings and there's 17 people came back. And we were like, oh my goodness me, 17 people, right? And then we said, look, come next month, you're not even going to believe how many. And 37 people came. And one guy flew down from Scotland. And the people in the room, they're like, where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? And he said something, I couldn't really understand it. I had met many Scottish people by then. And but when they heard he was from Scotland and he was already a supervisor, everybody was looking around the room. And do you know the word they were all using? Saturation. They go, oh my goodness me, there'll be no business left. It'll be saturated. There's no people left for anybody. And I said, don't worry, there's plenty of people in 60 million people in the UK. I know there's 37 people in the room, or 27 people, you're going to be fine, right? So anyway, we just kept coming back and bringing more people. You want to write that down? Just keep coming back and bring in more people. Next slide, Kev, thank you. And, oh, Kev, what's going on my slides now? Oh, I tell you what, I'm glad it's not me. Taking the pressure right off me, Kev, do I have to tell him? Then this was one of our first trainings. We went to see Mark. we didn't really have any role models in our life as such. You know, I don't know about you guys, but, and then when we met Mark, you know, even like looking at our picture, you know, it was like, you know, he was like a best friend. He was like a mentor. He was like a father figure. He was just always somebody who was there. You know, people called Mark the greatest master. And we always believed Mark was like the greatest servant. You know, he gave and he gave and he gave and he gave. He kept serving, and he always kept it fun. He always kept it simple, and he always kept it magical. I know you know these things, or you've heard these words, but you want to ask yourself, am I keeping it fun? Am I keeping it simple? Is it magical, the things that are happening now? You know? And then next slide, please. Then we were, Chris said to me, we're going to go to, John Tartle wants to see you. He thinks you're going to become a president team member. And I said, really? I said, okay, great. This is Chris on the right. Then is John Tartle. Then David, who's Chris's sponsor. And then is myself. So this is my entire upline, up to Mark Hughes, right? Jerry's under Mark, right? So I said, great, John wants to teach me how to become president. Fantastic. When is he coming? And he said, no, he's not coming. He said, you've got to go and see him. He's in Los Angeles. I said, Los Angeles. I said, I'm broke. I said, I can't afford to go to LA. He said, you've got to go. You'll become a president team member. You go and see Pres team. They teach you and you become Pres team. I said to Jane, I said, I got to go Los Angeles. He said, how we can go Los Angeles? You've got no money. I said, I know, but Chris, our sponsor, said, you've got to go. Do you trust him? He said, I trust him. So he said, okay, we'll go. So Jane said, you go on yourself and then you tell me, take good notes of everything he teaches you. And then you teach me when you come back. I said, I will. So Jane brought a new pad for me and a couple of pens. She gave me 2 pens. I flew to America, hired a car, checked in a hotel, drove for 2.5 hours down along the seafront, the seaside, the sea, the ocean, to get to Malibu, to get the John Tartles out. I'd never seen a house like this in my life. Okay, in Wales, where I come from, with big estates like this, we call them villages, right? This house was absolutely massive, and you could see the ocean, and it was unbelievable. I came in, hi John, nice to meet you, and he made me a shake. I remember the shake was this big. It was strawberry, and it's full of ice and full of bubbles, and a big straw. And I remember I didn't want to spill it in John's office, and he said, "Okay, then sit down and tell me about, you know, what you're doing." I said, well, I'm recruiting, and I'm going deep, and I'm going wide, and I got this guy, and I got this guy, and he said, okay, great. So he said, here's what you need to do. And I got my pad and I got my pen, and he said, you got to keep doing what you're doing. But he said, you just got to get more numbers and everything will change for you. And I wrote my first note on my pad, more numbers, right? And he said, I know you're going to do great. And then he stood up and he put his hand out as if to shake my hand. And I looked at Chris and I looked at David, I looked at John, and I thought, I think he thinks I'm leaving. And sure enough, he pulled me up and he said, bye-bye. And I said, bye-bye. Bye-bye. I said, I got no money. I bought a plane ticket. I bought a taxi, a car. I booked a hotel for the night. I've been here and I got more numbers. And he laughed, like he's got like this funny laugh. And I went, so I went outside and I said to Chris, in fact, I know you guys are leaders now, so I'm going to give you some leadership information. I don't want you sharing this, it's important. But I wasn't very positive. In fact, I was like, you know, couldn't believe it. And then I come here, more numbers. Anyway, I get back in my car. I'm driving along Pacific Coast Highway, right? And I'm like, red. And I'm like, I didn't even taste my shake. And I saw it was strawberry because it was red, but I'm sure I never even tasted it. I was in there and gone in 10 minutes, more numbers. So I get back to the hotel and Jane goes, I phones Jane on the pay phone. I said, hiya. She goes, where are you? I said, in the hotel. She goes, thought he was going to see John Tartle. I said, I've been to see him. And she said, what did he say? And I said, you're not even going to believe it, right? And she said, tell me. I said, I'll tell you when I get home. And so I get on the plane, and I'm sitting on the plane, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness me, when I get home, she's going to go, what's he said? And I don't know what to say. So I'm driving back home, the plane landed, and I'm driving my own car, my Fiesta, and I'm driving, I go, more numbers, more numbers, right? And I go in there, and Jane says, oh, it was good. I said, oh, it was great. It was a beautiful house, big shit. Don't tell me about the house, tell me later. Don't tell me about the shit, tell me later. What did he tell you? I said, no, you don't believe it. And she goes, well, tell me. I said, right. So I went in, and she grabs her notepad, right? And she's there. She grabs a pen, and she's looking at me. She's sitting down, looking at me, and I'm looking at her thinking, this ain't going to go very well, right? So I said, I explained our organization, love, and I explained this, and I did, right, yeah, but what did he say? I said, well, he said, you're going to make it. You just got to keep going and just got to get more numbers. And she did exactly what I did. She wrote at the top of her page, more numbers, right? And then she said, what else did he say? And I said, nothing. That was it. And she did exactly what I did. She went, you got a plane ticket, you got no money, you go all the way to Los Angeles, you rent a car, you go to this place, and all you got is more numbers. And I said, yeah. And then he started laughing. She went one way and I went the other way. And so all we had in our house, guys, for 3 months, okay, was whenever something happened that was a little bit negative or something didn't go right, we just went, more numbers. That was it. And I'd hear her upstairs and the phone would go down and she'd go, more numbers. You know, and I'd go up the stairs, I go, more numbers. And we actually became strong just because of this brilliant thing that John had done to us in just keeping it simple. You just got to get more numbers, more customers, more presentations, more people to the meetings, more numbers, and then everything works. And I was like, and as I've said at the beginning, right, I actually believe this is easy now. I can do this. I just got to get more numbers. So next slide, Kev, and we'll run the guys out here. So this was the growth of our business. You can see, you know, that was our royalties. We were getting that at that point. That was the red, the yellow, and then the red is the year we became president team. And you can see that year we went from, well, actually went from the December, which was 26,000 organization volume, and then January was about 50,000, and then by December, that red line in December, that was our 3rd month of president team. So we went from 5,000 a month income, right, to 27,000 a month income in 12 months, guys, right? By doing what? More numbers. More numbers every day, minimum 2 presentations. If you can do 3, do 3, do 4, do 4, do 5, do 5, do as many as you can. Why? Because it works. Just do it, right? Next one, Kev, please. And this is all so this is how the biz works. You all got BizWorks. If you haven't, you can get it, right? This is the company showing you your numbers. As you can see, our numbers in 1994 was out of control, man. Right? We already learned consistency. Look at that. Smashing the consistency. Right? I mean, you guys got people like this in your downlines. Those people can be chairman's club if they only just learn the basics. So go on, Kev, run them through. This was World Team. Next, please. This was myself and Jeff. This was us upstairs making the pole posters. Look. Dun, 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 dun. We buy them like that, make them together. That was us making them upstairs. Badges on. Look, we always wore badges. That was the are you earning what you're worth blue badge. We had them in blue and white. Just wear the badge everywhere. Then you talk to people. Okay, next. And you can go on from there. I'll skip a few now. And then was our get team. Look. There was our first ever organization meeting. Right? Here's what you got to know about that organization meeting. Every single person in that meeting is now a president team member, or they quit Herbalife. They either made it or they left. The ones that stayed, they made it. Herbalife is like, you can't be half pregnant, guys. You can't half swim, you can't half fly. You just got to get in, make a decision, and just keep going. Next one, please. That was our getting requalification. Go on, Kev. Thanks, mate. Oh, there's our work from home. Okay. That's the minute everything started changing. That's the year we went press team. Okay. There was on stage, meeting my accused, recognized press team in Hawaii. Never been to Hawaii in our life. Couldn't even spell it. Right. Next thing. Jim Rohn, Chris, our sponsor, Jeff Williams, all of us president team members meeting the legend that is Jim Rohn. Okay. And we all made a decision. We're going to become press team members. Boom. Okay. Okay. Surround yourself with those on the same journey, on the same mission. Okay. That lift you up, that inspire you. Went to Mark Hughes' house straight from Hawaii. Jeff lost his luggage, as you can see. Right. And then we became 15K. Okay. And then Mark gave us the earrings. I used to have earrings before I started. So he said, David, you want the earrings? And I gave the cufflinks to Jane. Oh, it was a great picture. The internet started. Come on, the internet. That was just getting going. So we had to roll with the DMOs. It's no different today. The DMOs are going to come and go. The basics will always remain the same. Okay. Okay, next one. This was our bonuses that we were on stage with Mark. And then things started to grow. 15K. Okay, then we made 20K and 40K. This become our income, you know, our royalties there. I mean, we blocked these out because, you know, I mean, it got bonkers in the end. I mean, really, well, I say in the end, 7 years, you know, and things were doubling each month. It was crazy. I mean, it was nuts. That was our first ever bonus awards. We had 56,000 bonus. I couldn't believe it. I mean, when I was an electrician, we used to get a bonus. It was a frozen turkey at Christmas, right? In Herbalife, we got $56,000. Couldn't believe it, right? Oh my God. Okay, next one. And there's another bonus. Okay, that's how many people we sponsor. That's for John Tartle. More numbers, right? Learn to design a life. Boom. I put that in there. Please don't be offended by the words. But you know what? Some people think the grass is greener somewhere else. Listen, there's nowhere better than this company. What are you going to make a decision? You love the company, you love the products, eat them every single day, fall in love with them, fall in love with the business, take everyone to the meetings. That's all you got to do. You only need one rope to pull you out of the hole. Herbalife is it. Thank you. Come on, Kev. That's where we live now. That's been a little bit airbrushed. On the drive there's a lot more stuff that we can't show you. That's our garden. That's Jane in a packing room. We used to ship all the products ourselves. In one day, Jane made 27 packages up to send product out. That was it. 27 in one day. Girls kick ass. That's true. Okay. If you want to build a Jane would actually take the stuff off the shelves, and I'd be packing it up, right? And she'd be saying like, don't go packing the shelves back up. And I tell her, if you don't pack these shelves up, you won't sell so much. So that's where that came from. More less bitching, more kitchen. I know that's where that saying came from. I said, you know, we used to have a bit of fun. You can tell we have a lot of fun together. So we bought some toys. These are recruitment tools. That jet ski's never been in the water. We like bikes, cars. I got a great bike story. I haven't got time to tell you now. That's the car of my dreams right there. Well, not that one, but the one behind that. But I can't show you that. But it's red, and you know. So that's how our meetings came. You know, this was a monthly meeting now. Or was then. You know, before things started growing. That's come from 13 people, and it just every 1 month, just keep doing more numbers, right? Okay, next one, please, Kev. I always like this slide is one of my favorites actually. Gratitude makes sense of the past, peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. And great, we like to always put fun, simple, and grateful, you know, in our presentation. Always be grateful. Alan Lorenz, you know, founder circle member, legend. You know, he said, you know, even if your life is boring or tough in Herbalife today, right, and you're struggling, think about how the day was the day before you met Herbalife, and remain grateful. And we never complained. We still never complain because we're absolutely grateful. Grateful of the love, grateful of the hate, grateful of the fun, grateful of the sadness, great because of the joy, grateful because of the pain, because this is our journey, this is our life, this is our story. And we don't make enough of telling each other stories. These stories are all around the world now, okay? So I just finished with a couple of slides for you. If you want to go, Kev. And the next, please. And the next, we don't need that one. Oh, we don't need that, we were number one. But becoming press team will be worth it. Next slides. These are our press team members today. It was our goal to become press team. Now it's our goal to get 50 president team in our organization. Next one, please. You know, these are the tab team members. And I mean, it's just going nuts, right? So this is our organization today. You can flick through these, Kev, let the guys just see them. And, you know, it's gone nuts right now. These are the analytics. And really, maybe I'll hold you guys on this slide and make it the last one. But make sure you realize and appreciate what you got your hands on. This MLM opportunity right now, in a time where there's repossession, redundancy, and recession, we got retail, recruit, and retain. There's a big difference. The world is out there screaming for a superhero with a badge on, and you are it. There's never been an opportunity like right now to get somebody started on the products. We have a product that everyone needs, and we have a business that anyone can do. All you got to do is wear that badge, stand strong, look them in the eye and go, do you know about that? Okay. What is that? I'm really glad you asked. Learn the button response, invite them over for a presentation, and they'll go yes, no, or think about it. Most say yes. Okay. So guys, I'm sorry about my presentation. I think it was because I've got a computer on my desk and a screen here, and you actually were seeing what's on the computer, whereas my screen here was showing me what all you guys should have seen. But never mind, that's okay. I hope I remained relatable. So guys, take good care. Thank you so much for being on the call. It's just been amazing to chat to you. I hope you got some value, and I'd love to hand you back to Kevin or to Alf or to whoever's going to send us home excited. And I appreciate all of your time. Over to you guys. Thank you so much, guys.
Well, thank you to you, David. Thank you. Please, everybody, show your gratitude on the screen, on the chat. Raise your hand, make some noise. Let David know. And by the way, David, that was all set up on purpose just to show that if David can do it, anybody can do it. No, Kevin, take off that sound. Okay. What I was going to say is that it just shows you guys, and I hope you understand why we've become like brothers from another mother, because this is a business that it's like David said, fun, simple, magical. Things do happen, okay? And it doesn't matter what happens. It's all about what you do with what happens, You just saw David, Chairman's Club member, 40K, give the most unbelievable presentation. And it didn't matter if the slides were there or if they were not there. It was just unbelievable. I hope you took lots of notes. I filled up pages and pages. And once again, David, thank you from everybody from around the world, because that really was a master class, and everyone now knows that if David can do it, you can do it. That is simple. And we've got, like Jim Rohn used to say, we are behind. We've got a lot of work to catch up with. So I hope you got as much value as I got from this master class. And we did record it, so anybody who could not participate today with us, no problem. In the next day or so, it will be available for everybody to have a chance to replay and watch the recording. And I don't know about you guys, but David, that was for me a session that I will remember for years and years, because you hit on all the key points that we need to focus. And you're right, we do tend to complicate things. So guys, did you enjoy that? Once again, let's make some noise. Let's make David understand that we're really grateful, and this is part of our support system. And these workshops for supervisors are attracting a lot of people. And we've got another supervisor workshop coming up in the month of August, okay? And September. Write down the date, the 8th of September. If you really enjoyed this supervisor workshop today, now the question is, who do you know right now that could become a supervisor so that they can be with you for the next supervisor workshop in September, on the 8th of September? Because you being here is great, no question about it. What really matters now is everything that David just gave you. What are you going to do with all that knowledge, wisdom, all that experience that he shared with us? Now is the time to put it into practice. Make sure you help as many people get to supervisor before the end of the month of August, so that they can be qualified with you, whether they qualify this month or next month, to be with us in September for the next supervisor school. And we have the opportunity to have one of the greatest hosts we have in Herbalife, my very, very good friend, Chief Executive President's Team, 15K Hall of Fame, none other than Angela Jackson. Now, we are working on our next speaker, and it's going to be something very special for you. But for now, just remember the date, and like David said, make a decision how many supervisors are going to be with you on the 8th of September. So once again, thank you to the whole team for putting this wonderful Master Supervisor workshop together. Thank you everybody for being with us and participating in this workshop. And we wish everybody a fantastic rest of the month of July. And we see you very soon, those of you that are going to be with us on the 8th of September, with lots of new supervisors. Thank you everybody once again.
Thank you,